Hello everybody, today we're going to be looking at the Anshan. The Anshan is a Tier 6 premium destroyer from Pan Asia, China to be exact, and it's basically the Nevny from the Tier 6 Russian tech tree. It's basically was a gift destroyer to China, and here's the lowdown on this ship. Much like the tech tree ship, she's got 4 guns. She's got 130 millimeter caliber on the guns. The reload is a little bit better at 5 seconds instead of 5.5 seconds, so that's a good thing. The base range is about the same on both ships. The guns hit hard and they're fairly accurate, but their arcs at range are, you have to lead a lot, which makes it a little bit trickier against smaller size targets, but overall not too bad. The fire chance is only 4%. The turret traverse is 12 degrees per second. With equipment, you can get it up to 14 degrees plus, so 14 point something or other. Basically, it's decent enough, but the ship can still outturn her guns a little bit when you're going really fast. The important differences, though, are the torpedo tubes. There's still only 2 launchers of 3 tubes each. There's still only 533 millimeter, so they give about the same damage output. The big difference, though, is the range. The Anshan has a 6 kilometer range on her torpedoes, whereas the Nevny only has a 4 kilometer range. The reload time is about the same. The Anshan is a little bit longer at 45 seconds, whereas it's around 40-ish seconds for the Nevny. Not a huge difference. The anti-aircraft is improved on the Anshan, a whopping 55, whereas it's a lowly 33. Really, both are kind of laughable, though, when it comes to anti-aircraft. Moving on to the other aspects of this ship, we'll start with the historical camo, which I find is meh. It's not the most attractive historical camo, but that's okay. The camo's bonuses are pretty rudimentary. I'll tell you what's important here, though. Main battery firing range is nice to have. Torpedo range, it's a very nice to have, but it's only really an extra 200 meters of torpedo range. The big one, though, is the max traverse speed. This helps a lot with the handling. I did run a few battles without the camo on in co-op to see. Pretty important to have that on there. The ship's skills, it has the engine accelerator, just like the Nevny. However, it adds the smoke. The Nevny does not have smoke, so in addition to the longer range torpedoes, she also has the smoke generator, which can help a lot with ambush attacks. So that's definitely a boost for the Anshan. Her elite bonuses, there's really only the one choice in my opinion, the max traverse speed. Again, the ship is not the most maneuverable, so anything you can do to help that is of benefit. The increase to the high explosive, I did the calculation, it's pitiful. The increase to fire chance is also likewise pitiful, ignore that. For equipment, I went with the speed boost because this ship has no armor. Speed is life, maneuverability is life, so I went with the speed on the one equipment boost. You could go to the extra traverse, but I find that speed just made the Nevny a little bit more survivable, so the Anshan as well is in that same boat, but you do have to have some extra traverse acceleration on there. You could go to the regular acceleration, but you'll have to change out the speed to the traverse to make that work. So keep that in mind. If you want to have the speed on there, you'll have to put the traverse up here. You can't do the acceleration, but because the ship has smoke, the acceleration would be nice with the maneuverability. So that's another way you can configure. I went with the traverse boost, which on the guns, which gives it 14 degrees, and that's necessary to help keep the guns a little bit on target. For supplies, I've gone with the camo, which helps you launch torpedoes from stealth, and then the usual reload boosts and speed boost with a little bit of extra traverse boost. Those are all good things to have on there. And of course, the direct comparison with this ship is always going to be with its tech tree counterpart, the Nevny. So when you look at the both, overall, I'd say the Anshan is the better of the 2 ships. They share the same speed, maneuverability, guns for the most part, but the Anshan a little bit faster reload and the much better torpedoes. That makes her the better of the 2 ships. Is it worth the price to get the Anshan? That's up to you to decide. I wouldn't buy it for credit making, that's for sure. And after that, what other than unique playstyle, but the ship does not have a unique playstyle because it basically plays the same as the Nevny. And like the Nevny, this ship, if it's out in front too much or for too long, it will get pounded into dust. It has no armor whatsoever, so really you have to play cautiously. But the role of this ship is to be out in front, scouting, capturing points. So what I tend to do is I tend to go out hard, get a point, capture point that is, and then get some shots in and then back off, size up everything, look to see where my teammates are, and then make another attack run on distracted enemies. That's the ideal. It doesn't always pan out that way, but certainly the ship's speed can get her into as much trouble as it can get her out of trouble. So keep that in mind if you do go with this ship. She's very speedy, and that speed really does require some control in how you play. Here you can see me slowing down just to not go too fast through the cap area and wind up in a situation where I've got 2 or 3 red ships and I've got no teammates nearby. So I don't want to outpace my teammates too much, so I've slowed down, and I don't always do that, but in this case here I decided it's probably the best move overall. Just about every destroyer in her tier is better than this ship, except for, of course, the Nevny herself. So keep that in mind. The U.S. destroyer, the Japanese destroyer, the British destroyer, the Gallant, that is, basically they are better ships than this one here. That doesn't make this a bad ship, just that there are better ships. And if you were, say, deciding between this ship and the Gallant gets my nod. If you were deciding between this ship and any other tier 6 premium, I'd probably lean you more towards the other premiums on offer. But if you're going to own a destroyer, this is not a bad ship. It does require a lot of care when playing it to, again, not overshoot, not distance away from your team, to attack enemies that are preferably distracted and not shooting at you. It's a situational ship, and you got to jump on those situations. This is not a carry ship. If you're down to very few ships on green, this ship can't take a pounding, and she can't bear the attention of a lot of red ships at once. So really, she requires a team around her to shine. She can shine, but you do need a team around her to make it work. There are several ways to play this ship. You can, as I mentioned already, you can use her as a scout, get in front, capture points. You can use her as a deep strike ship where you use the speed, get behind the enemy lines and attack the slow-moving battleships and carriers. The only danger there is you can find yourself in enemy territory, completely unsupported, cut off from your team, and it usually means a quick death to an alert red team. So not recommended unless it's, again, a situation pops up. This ship is all about situations. You have to be able to read situations quickly to get the most from this ship. If you're a new player to the game, you probably will not get the most from the ship. If you're a seasoned veteran player from the game, you can probably do quite well in the ship. Is she worth buying versus the other offerings? Again, there are better premium ships. You can get a taste for this ship with the Tech Tree Nevny, and before you buy the ship, if you're close to the Nevny in the Russian destroyer line, I recommend at least getting that ship at first and trying it out a little bit. There's not really any huge reason. The 2 kilometers extra on the torpedoes is nice, but when I ran the Nevny, I did quite well in the ship. The speed of the ship and getting in close was usually not a problem if you used islands to do so. So the real reason to get this premium ship would be to make credits, but we all know that that doesn't really work that effectively. You've only got a 25% bonus on the credits. We'll get a little bit more with the fleet bonuses and that eventually when they're all unlocked, but that's still not a huge reason to, until the economy is all the way improved and premium ships make 50% above standard, there's no reason to get the ship for credit generation. She's just not going to make credits as well as a higher tier premium ship or even a higher tier tech tree ship. Even a tier 6 tech tree ship can, with a good game, surpass the credits pretty easily on this ship. So again, credit generation is not the reason to get this ship. Unique playstyle is not really a reason to get this ship, because again, the tech tree Nevni is pretty much the same thing. So if you're a collector, that's a reason to get the ship. That's about the only reason to get this ship. However, if you like a challenge, you might consider this to be one of those challenge type ships that you run just to be able to keep your skills sharp and to challenge yourself. But again, as far as premium ships go, this ship is not the best available by far. It's not a bad ship. Again, I can make it work. I've been winning this ship consistently. I do enjoy this ship overall because I enjoyed the Nevni as well. Would I have bought this ship, or would I buy this ship again now that I've done the review? Probably not. It's not a bad ship, but I've got lots of other. I much prefer the Gallant. I much prefer the Fubuki from the tech tree at this tier. Those are much better ships, and I enjoy those ships more than this one. If I didn't have to make the review on it, I really wouldn't have bought this ship. Not because again it's bad, just because it doesn't bring anything substantially new to the table. And although she's a great utility ship, she's got good guns, she can support a team pretty well. At the end of the day, she's just a support destroyer. She's not really a carry destroyer. She's not a wreck the whole enemy team destroyer, although that can happen as well. But those games are going to be a little bit more of a rarity. And again, very situational deployment on this ship. You have to pay attention to the developing situations and play accordingly. If you try to go one person commando against the entire team, it's just not going to work out. You're going to get just absolutely wrecked. I've gotten gung-ho from the speed and overextended just even ever so slightly and gotten wiped out very quickly from the battle. This ship has no armor protection whatsoever. So again, you have to rely on your team to distract, to do well in the ship, and you have to look for those openings, those situations that you can pounce on to wipe out ships. So this ship, I find I get lots of kills with it. I don't do a lot of damage in it because, again, it's situational. I'm taking on distracted, already weakened opponents, knocking them out. I'm distracting and harassing destroyers and cruisers, pulling them away from our more important ships to, again, serve that support role to get the team to produce more damage and hopefully win by distracting the red teams by being a thorn in their side. So that's the ship pretty much overall. I've gone over everything. There's not really much more to add. Please do watch the remainder of the battles that I've got going on here. There's some decent battles. You can get a good feel for what the ship is like. So if you're really itching to buy this ship or pick it up, or you have picked it up and now you're wondering how to play it, certainly this battle here, as well as the next battles, will really instruct you on how to go about playing the ship. It's basically just like the Nevni from the so you rely on your speed, maneuverability, situational awareness. See here, I'm firing the torpedoes and then continuing to shoot, and I'm banking that my speed will keep me ahead of any torpedoes that come my way. He can't catch up to me, which means he can't get his torpedoes into an advantageous firing position. So again, I outpaced the ship with the speed. The speed of the ship is its life. You have to emphasize the speed. Anyway, I'm going to let it go there, And I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope my audio is a little bit better than usual. Just let me know in the comments if you've noticed an improvement to the audio. I think I might have solved most of my issues now with the hardware and the software. It was actually the combination of the two not playing well together. But I think I've got it sorted out now. So hopefully that will be better from now on. And I hope you've enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. And I know I keep promising more videos on different things, most notably my gunnery video, which is I keep having to restart because I'm not happy with the quality of the results. It's hard to draw in arcs and ballistics onto a two-dimensional surface and try to explain what's going on without just getting completely lost. So that's the challenge I'm having. I'm working on it though. I will get that sorted out at some point. In the meantime, watch the rest of the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Enemy ship destroyed. Our team captured the area. Engine boost activated. Enemy team captured the area. Good job! Our team is about to win. Target hit! Torpedoes! Our team captured the area. We're hit! We destroyed an enemy ship. Nice!
Battle starts.
Stick together! Don't bunch up! Do not leave the formation! No way! Target spotted. Our team captured the area. team captured the area. Nice shot! We hit the enemy! Torpedoes! Our team captured the area. Enemy torpedoes spotted. Enemy torpedoes spotted. Good job! Enemy team captured the area. Target hit! Nice shot! Target hit! Destroyed an enemy ship. Our team captured the area.